very, very smart looking AW101 Star Queen search and rescue helicopter on hand, as well as the Vampire of the Norwegian Air Force Historical Squadron from the civilian side. But here they go, on the roll, the 6 MFI-15 Safaris. With us here to describe this display is the team's reserve pilot, Lieutenant Colonel Eric Mickelson. Eric, a warm welcome to you again.
Very much.
And nice that the team should have a rather lighter sky than you had yesterday. You flew yesterday in some of the darkest conditions of the entire day.
Yeah, but we weren't limited to our low program yesterday to replace the sub-safari.
So coming in then for the first part, tell us about the formation and who's leading it.
Yeah, the leader is Lieutenant Colonel Yogi. He's an F-16 background and also been flying search and rescue in the Norwegian Air Force. He has 5,000 flight hours. They're coming in what we call a triangle or a death battle formation. In number 2, we have Captain Tinka. She's a female pilot, one of the first in the Norwegian Air Force, and she is also one of the most experienced pilots in the Norwegian Air Force with more than 9,000 flight hours. Number 3 is Captain Drapo. This is his background from C-17s and Falcon 20s. Place is his number 4. He is a maritime patrol aircraft driver, military green, but they're changing during the early 2000s to yellow. The original color scheme from the Norwegian flying school was blue and yellow, which some of us think is even better than yellow only.
Sounds like a good idea for the 2025 display season.
Maybe. Formation now is chevron. And they will change formation when they turn away into the arrow formation.
We get a really good view here, Eric, of the quite unusual appearance of the Safari with the slightly forward-swept wings and that big bubble canopy.
Yes, some say that the forward sweep is aerodynamic, it gives some aerodynamic advantages. And some people say that it's because the aircraft does not want to fly that fast. The cruising speed is about 100 knots.
So the other thing that appears evident with the layout of the design of the aircraft is the fact that the wings are neither top nor bottom mounted or shoulder mounted. What's the advantage of that?
Shoulder mounted wings give you a far better visibility. You can see, look down without the obstruction of the wing, and you can look up without the obstruction of the wing. So it's a very good feature for this type of aircraft.
And with it flying at 100 knots, how many hours did you log up on the way over the last few days?
We've been flying from Bardufoss north in Norway, far above the Arctic Circle. We were in Airshow in Norway, southern part of Norway, about a month ago, and then we flew down here from Oslo last week. In total, it's about 20-hour transit each way.
Wow. So possibly another 15 to get back to Bardufoss. Also, I see. Hoping for a tailwind.
Yeah, we are looking for it. We have the 20 knots headwind right here. We're passing in a sway formation. And when they turn around, we're going to transfer to what we call a dart or a rocket formation. All the pilots, they are full-time instructors on the flying school. We have 2 classes every year, so the next class is starting early August, and the flying portion for that class will be starting August, September, late August, early September. And they will finish up in late November, and the next class started in early January. like we told you from Bardufoss, which is a familiar field for RAF and the Naval Air Arm. We have the Commando Helicopter Force flying Wessex, Sea Kings, Merlins since the late 60s, and for the last 20 years the Joint Helicopter Command has, they have actually had their own base inside our perimeter, and they have to do winter training every year with all kinds of support helicopters from the Joint Helicopter Command, or rather Joint Aviation Command.
Yes, and of course goes outside of the rotary wing specialisations. The Jaguar Force used to deploy there.
In low-powered aircraft such as these, it's all the more difficult, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Compared to flying in a high-performance jet, it's a big challenge. Now we can see they're coming straight towards the audience, and they will spread out for the last formation part to do the fan or the starburst burst. And then they will come around and wave to the audience.
And they certainly deserve your appreciation, because apart from being a beautifully flown display of these little aeroplanes, this has been an incredible effort to get here, and it's going to be an incredible effort to get back to Bardufoss after the show. So as they come past, do show how much you've enjoyed the display by the Yellow Sparrows, their UK debut. Every aircraft waving in a very slightly different way to the previous.
Yes, we can do individual waves.
Yes. So another window visible behind the main canopy. Does that facilitate the fixing of another seat into the aircraft?
Yeah, it's possible to keep a seat the wrong way, facing off. So normally it's only used for package here.
Well, thank you very much indeed to Lieutenant Colonel Eric Nicholson and the whole of the Yellow Sparrows team for their attendance here at RIAT 2024. We hope to welcome them back again in the future. Eric, thank you so much. Do pass on our appreciation. It's the first time not just for this team here, but for this aircraft in Norwegian service, because we've seen the Royal Danish Air Force here with the T-17 supporter variant, indeed a couple of years ago with their own display team Baby Blue. But never had the Norwegians display this machine in the UK. A lovely, lovely show.
Do you want to lift from there or